To, barkamu da sake saduwa a wannan shirinmu na Jasiri. Ina kwana Lolo, ina kwana Catherine, da fatan kun tashi lafiya.
Lafiya. Lafiya Lao.
Lafiya kalau ko?
Did I sound subtle enough?
Yes, you did.
Lafiya Lao.
Yes, you did. Alhamdulillah.
Hey, that's the way we know the two.
You're quiet. You didn't know how to respond.
Lafiya kalau.
Oh,
Lafiya.
fantastic. Sanunku, it's good to see you this morning. Looking so beautiful as usual.
Oh my God.
Kekyawa wa mata.
Yeah, kekyawa your mata.
That should
not they use. Funny enough, Dashin has been using this as something to rub our head. She knows how to collect our small dollar.
And because it's so nice to hear from her. It's lovely. We can listen to Dashin speak Hausa all day.
I just love culture.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to lose it as a continent,
Absolutely.
as a people.
Yeah.
Because that is our originality.
Yeah.
That is who we are as a people. I don't want any of our languages to go extinct.
Oh,
honestly.
it will not. Believe me, it won't.
Never.
All right, so let's just move on. Every now and then, we are reminded that courage is not just about standing tall. It is about standing up for those who can't speak for themselves. Now, here on Jasiri, we try to make sense of the world around us. You know, we're talking about its progress, its pain, and the people who remind us why speaking up still matters. And so today on the show, we begin with a story that is very difficult to hear, but even harder to ignore. It's a story of 6-year-old Fatima, a little girl in Jalingo, Taraba State, whose innocence was brutally taken away by someone who should have been a neighbor, but chose to be a nightmare. Now, it takes immense courage to speak truth to power, especially, you know, when the truth is dark, painful, and demands accountability. A journalist and humanitarian in the state, Khadija Abubakar Barkindo, did exactly that. She broke the silence by sharing the heartbreaking story of Fatima, allegedly raped by her 36-year-old neighbor, Yaronti Jarombi, who is now in CID custody. Her courage sparked outrage, empathy, and a renewed call for justice, not just for Fatima, but for the many children whose pain never makes the news. Khadija joins us now from Jalingo. Khadija, good morning and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Jasiri. Thank you also for your bravery to be here. If you can hear me, Khadija. Hello, Khadija, can you hear me?
I think we're having some technical difficulties.
I think
circle back to her. I'm
Absolutely.
sure we just want to write her audio so that we can continue with the story.
Oh,
it's very, you know, the opening alone left, you know, a sour taste in my mouth. And the unfortunate thing is that this has become a regular. You know, it's a different thing if story just comes once in a while.
Yeah.
But this is like something that happens every time. And I have lost how to feel because the ages go younger and younger every day. Adults that are supposed to know better, taking advantage of, this is not a child. This is like a
baby. She's a toddler, still a toddler.
6-year-old. Some of them even entered school.
Let's try to reconnect with Khadija. Khadija, can you hear us now?
Can hear you guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Khadija. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Khadija, you've covered many stories over the years, yes? But this one has clearly touched you differently because your tweets were just something else and people followed the tone of your tweet and went to town with it. But before we go deeper, can you take us back to how you first heard about Fatima's case and what made you decide to speak publicly about it?
After receiving the report, me and my colleague went to meet the parents of the victims. We interviewed them and also spoke to the child. The story was painful, but I felt it was important to raise awareness. So I posted about it on Twitter that day.
When you got that initial report, what did you find out during your follow-up? Especially,
yeah,
yes, we can hear you. We can. I was just asking a follow-up question that when you did meet up with her parents and you spoke to them, what did you find out during that follow-up? Can you hear me? I think we're having a bit of network connection. Yeah. I'm just very anxious to hear what the parents, when you hear of something, it's different when you now start researching and you are before those who are the principal actors or the people that really have the first-hand knowledge. It hits differently.
Yeah, so the father was interviewed. I listened to the recording of the father. Khadija herself, very smart, brave girl. And, Fatima herself and then Khadija. So the father said that Khadija reported it to him and, they took action, reported to the police, the state CID. And he's grateful that the police have actually supported them all through. The man is still in custody, so they ran tests, and they found out that the man was HIV positive. And Khadija ran some tests, but they told him to run tests 3 more times to be sure if she was infected or not. But for now, she's still taking medication. And he also talked about how if you see her private, that you would cry. So they also, go as far as in warm water because it was really, really bad. He also talked about how, in court that he has not confessed yet. He hasn't said or pleaded guilty about it. Apparently, the man's friends have said once he confesses, it will be held against him. So he should keep quiet about it and not say anything.
But you see, that's the thing. He's keeping quiet about it with full chest because he has done it before and he has gotten away with it because it's not the first time that he has done this. What is your attraction to a 6-year-old child? I have no idea. It's your neighbor, so I want to assume he's been living in that compound for over a year. And then so the child Fatima is not new to him and he's not new to her. So you see somebody and say, oh, good morning, uncle, or good morning, sir. Why do you think you must traverse that and cross it and cross that line and decide to sleep with a child, especially when you know that you are HIV positive and you have done this before and you feel now that by not coming out to say that, yes, I actually did this, it will give you some kind of leverage. I have no idea how that works, how that thinking works. And like you said, I think Khadija is a brave young woman.
Fatima.
And Fatima is a brave young girl. Khadija herself is a brave young woman to decide to torch the light on this particular issue.
The thing is, Khadija right now is actually being threatened. So you have people advising her, saying that she should leave the community because if the man gets out now or if he's granted bail, that he might, find a way to attack her and all that. And when Fatima spoke, you heard her, the innocence in her voice. She said she was just, walking around and then this man called her, took her into his room, put her on the bed and then brought out a knife and threatened her saying that if she doesn't do what she's supposed to do, that he is going to cut her. And out of fear, she gave in. And that was
how can you even use the word gave in? How can a 6-year-old give in to something?
Yeah, well...
She was feared, she was afraid, she doesn't even know. How do you explain the act of intercourse to a child that is 6? She just knows that she was told to lie down and a knife was held to her throat.
And with the way she actually spoke about it, because what they're saying, what the perpetrator is making it look like is as if Fatima herself is lying about the whole thing. But how can a 6-year-old come out to give an account?
And if you listen to her,
and
very brave young 6-year-old.
Let's try again. I want to believe if maybe she's back with us.
All right, Khadija, can you hear us now? Hello, Khadija. We seem to be having serious network issues.
But I see her moving.
I know.
Khadija, can you hear us? I'm so
Okay, I think
gutted
there's a problem with the
yeah,
audio.
to the network.
I'm interested in that update, and I love it for them that the police actually stepped up and did their jobs for once. And I must say, I'm thankful for that. That's how it's supposed to be. We shouldn't make it feel as if it's a favor they're doing us, or oh my God, the police came for. Oh, thank God. No, it is their responsibility.
I even want to know at what point the child told them. Is it immediately after the act was committed, or some days or months after? Because I'm wondering that if she had told them maybe immediately, they might be able to gather some DNA evidence. Because if he did
but let's not forget that, you know, I don't know, they're not as exposed as we are in the city, so they might not know some of these things.
Exactly, these are the things that pain me, because our girl children are not safe. Like Tolu will say, they are not safe in the church, they are not safe on the road, they are not safe in school, they are not safe in the mall, they are not safe in the church.
No.
They are not safe anywhere. They're not even safe in their own homes.
There were times where community parenting was just perfect when we were growing up. There's someone's mom there, there's Boniface's mom somewhere, and it doesn't matter. Everyone is your mother.
Yes.
But now that is different. You imagine a girl like this who, if you look at it, because the way Darshan said, I mean, her privates there are, it's not the same. She's a child. She may have to go in for reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
She may go in, and those are the physical ones that we see. How about mental? How about the mental abuse? How about working through all of that? She has to become whole. So therapy would be needed to make sure that she's just okay. So it's beyond the physical damage that we see. It's emotional, it's mental, it's everything. For a 6-year-old, how is she supposed to? Unfortunately also, like Darshan said, it's in the north. They're probably in an area where they're not as enlightened as.
And that's why I will always say we should continually speak against child marriage. Do you know that some of these people actually believe that they are not wrong? And I'm wondering that, because before we even say, before we can even accuse someone, they might not even consider the act as wrong. And they will allude to some Islamic passages that, this person did something like that.
Remember the man we spoke to that was abused and said, even, you know, he didn't know that he was doing something wrong. And most of them, you know, they have that mentality. She talked about community parenting, but when you talk about community parenting, you have communities that will tell you, they do not want this to go further, you know, so they would handle it.
I hear they
but apparently, so with this update now.
To her on the phone now. Hello, Khadija, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for staying with us on this particular story. We've been talking amongst ourselves. I just wanted to pick up quickly from where I asked that, okay, when you had the meeting with the parents, what did you gather from that interview you had with both parents of the child? Khadija.
Yes, come again, please.
Yes, I said, what was the outcome of the interview that you had with the parents of the child, and how did Fatima herself even express herself, and what did that reveal to you as a journalist and as a woman?
Yeah, when we got there, the parents looked completely heartbroken. Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, they completely looked heartbroken. The father was calm but withdrawn, and the mother was in pain. And that little Fatima was just there, not fully understanding what just happened to her that moment. Take it with me seriously, because I just can't forget that day.
All right, so for the sake of those who didn't get to hear the audio, how did Fatima express herself? And, you know, what did that moment reveal to you as a journalist and as a woman?
Oh, my God. As a woman, I really feel, or how can I, okay. So I really feel somehow, because, you know, our people here, they don't really like talking when something like that happens to them. They don't want to talk about it. So when I got there, the mother doesn't want to talk at first, but when I comforted her, telling her that, no, you have to talk. Because we can't just keep quiet like that. No, that needs to stop. But, you know, cultural silence, that lack of education on sexual and gender-based violence. And, you know, the weak justice system itself. Many people don't report. Some even settle the cases quietly at home, and seriously, that needs to stop.
We know that the accused, Yaronti Jarombi, is currently in CID custody. So what's the update from the law enforcement side at this point? And how confident are you that justice will be served, especially that this isn't the first time he has been accused of such a dastardly act?
Can you come again, please?
I said that we know that the perpetrator, the accused, Jarombi Yaronti, is in CID custody. Yes?
Come again, please?
I said the accused is in police custody, CID custody at the moment?
Yes.
I wanted to ask, I said, what's the update on the law enforcement side of it? And are you confident that you're going to get justice, as this is not the first time this person has been accused of such a bad act?
Actually, I didn't got the question very well, but I heard that you're talking about the accused, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. As of today, he has been arraigned and remanded in prison. He's waiting for legal advice from the Ministry of Justice. And I'm hopefully that with all the attention, justice will not be denied this time.
Okay, so beyond the investigation, Khadija, what has been the community's reaction? I mean, are people showing support? I mean, is there fear and silence around the case? What's the general community's reaction to this?
Yeah, some people are supporting, but many are silent. You know, cases like these are still seen as family matters. That's how they are seeing the cases like cases like that. And some people avoid getting involved. Yeah, that silence is really dangerous because they don't want to talk.
That is so...
when she says some people are in support and some are not, it's really...
I don't even understand how you not be in support of a young... And that's why I said that the foundation is where the problem is.
So, Khadija, let me take Lolo's question now. Are Fatima and her parents hopeful, or are they afraid that justice might be denied them?
Yes, seriously, the father is actually not... Because when we are taking the case like that, when we are talking about the case, me and my colleague, he was like, he knows that at some point they would just come and say, let's just handle it at home. He already lose hope already. He lose hope already.
Wow. Well, as a reporter, myself, who has actually handled a few of these cases, I'm telling you, when you come face to face with these perpetrators and their lack of remorse, you would feel like taking matters into your own hands, right? But, have you faced any form of backlash from all of this? Have you been threatened in any way, or have you been pressured to keep quiet about this, Khadija? Because I did see a few tweets, on X, a few tweets talking about how you should let this go and how you should allow the government to handle it instead.
Yeah, indirectly, people have questioned why I said it publicly. Even in my area, some people are saying I took it very far. I'm not supposed to do that. And I say that as a woman, I feel like this is also my problem because I'm not married and I may have a child and I want to protect that child. Why will I let that one suffer in silence? No, we need to stop that.
I'm wondering, Taraba has seen a few disturbing cases involving minors recently. From your experience, what patterns do you think is fueling this? Is it because of that cultural silence or weak systems or lack of accountability or a combination of all?
Yeah, it's actually that cultural. You see, that cultural silence is a very big problem in Taraba, not only Taraba, northern parts. But people will just say, even neighbors will come and tell you that you don't talk about your daughter like that. People will talk, you don't want her to get married. Next, like someone will not marry her when you talk about it. Like, I don't understand. Our people are just like that.
So they use stigma as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Well, that's what they will tell the parents, especially the mothers. They will say, you have to protect your child. You don't talk about things like that. They will just settle the case quietly. They will not like you to talk about it, especially, when they have you from media house, they don't want to talk to you. It's even the Fatima's father, he stopped speaking our calls. He stopped speaking our calls. I tried to reach him several times, but he don't want to talk to us.
Well, anyway, let's talk about Fatima's healing. Is she receiving any medical or psychological support at the moment? And how is her family coping right now?
Well, Fatima's parents are not that financially stable. They are, they are kind of, you understand, right?
Yeah.
So she received some treatment at the hospital when it happened. But there's no any strong follow-up, no psychological support yet. And, that's really important for her healing, but she's not receiving any of that.
Quite sad. Oh, I'll let you have the last words on this, Khadija. What message do you have for parents, communities, and leaders, who often choose silence or settlement, which is what happens a lot in the North, over justice when a child is violated?
To parents and leaders, I want to say this. Choosing silence protect abusers, while choosing justice protect our children. So it's better for us to stand up. Every child deserves safety.
Anyway.
I always say, silence doesn't protect. It always delays justice. So let's be loud where it matters.
Khadija, thank you very much for your courage and being a voice for the voiceless. Stories like Fatima's are never easy to tell, but they remind us that justice for one child is justice for every child. We'll take a short break now, just to ease off and shake off this story, but we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to the show. You're still watching Jasiri right here on News Central TV. Now, we just finished talking about the sad incidents that happened to Fatima in Taraba State, and we just spoke to the journalist who has been pushing for this particular issue to be, for justice for little Fatima, and that's Khadija. And, listening to it, making it, I don't know, it reminds me of a lot that happened while I was actually serving in the North. When I say serving, I mean I was working in the North, so I was serving in the North, right? We came across so many similar incidences, and then you hear the parents saying no, they do not want, this particular story to actually go viral. They will settle it within themselves. And you have some of the perpetrators in some cases paying off the parents to keep it quiet, forgetting that, the child would definitely go through so much trauma, growing up. The community, the chiefs around the community will say, no, we do not want this bad review of our community. Let's settle it within ourselves. It is quite sad. It also reminds me of a particular story that I followed while I was in Abuja. I had to travel to Niger State on a few occasions, and this particular man was a teacher. He molested up to 12 of his students. The age range was from 6 to 12, right? He molested them. I really do not know. I really do not know. And he was HIV positive. That was the sad part.
Is it okay? So I don't get this. Is it that men who are diagnosed with HIV AIDS, you're HIV positive, you decide that you want to go and spread your seed in the world? I don't get it.
This belief that exists in some circles, that the innocence of a child can take away disease.
I'm sorry, you say?
Yes, I've heard of that. That the innocence, they do it a lot in South Africa, Tanzania, all these African countries where they believe that maybe the innocence of a child will take away a disease. And they go about looking for children to infect.
Well, also the realization that, well, since I'm HIV positive, I might as well spread it around. I will not carry this alone. A lot of HIV positive people actually think that way. They will not carry it alone. They will not carry it alone.
They feel like it's a revenge mission. Someone gave it to me, so I must give.
Exactly. And they are not remorseful about this at all, because that guy, what I saw in court, I felt like slapping him. Honestly,
is your target
he was
then with
smiling
children?
at some point, and most of them have people in power, you know, who they know that, you know, when you just, after a while, because it was a magistrate court,
he will be let go.
He was so confident that he would be going to be let go.
I would look at it that you have somebody that commits this kind of heinous crimes, and you are supporting that person. Don't you know that it has a ricochet effect?
Okay, so I'm going to look at this differently a bit. I just had a brainwave. I'm thinking, probably because we are so different in the north and the south of Nigeria, probably culture lends hand to this, because it's not the first time this has happened. It won't be the last time this has happened. And I think there were very interesting reactions when Khadija posted that story on X. There are some reactions, and there were other people who were saying,
said, well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
You know? There's nothing wrong with this, what she did. I really don't want to go into that. Because,
so if you're looking at that mentality, what does it tell you? Why we know that the north is a bit, they're not afforded, they cannot, or they're somehow a bit pulled away from what's going on in society, meaning that they're a little bit backwards. So maybe that also is a contributory factor to that.
Sometimes
and then there's religion, and then there's cultural shackles as well. And then there's now the acceptance, like you said, people sit down and say, okay, let's settle it between us. And settling these things between us, that is always the issue.
You know, when people say that, even culture, there are some things that I believe that it should be acceptable generally. This is a child. A child should be, everybody's protection should be on the table of everyone in the community. It's just like having a newborn. It's a joy. Everybody comes together to celebrate, watch that child grow. And you are telling me that there's some cultural blockade or religious shackles that shackle you into shielding a pedophile who abuses children. Oh no, even if you
just because you know someone,
how does that make you feel morally?
No. Have we so easily forgotten about, you know, what happened to Ochanya, who died recently, where her uncle and his son, you know, were having their way with her for so long. And the aunt said she had no idea what was going on. Apparently, someone actually posted that these same people were seen in church the next Sunday. Honestly, like it was...
No, there are some times that you want to talk about these things. Honestly, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, because you are wondering that, okay, these people are supposed to know better. Where do we draw a line? Like, for that this person needs some kind of there have to be some accountability. There has to be some judgment for those that do this kind of... You can't tell me that, a pedophile that has been convicted, even if you repent, you will still be punished according to the law. You can repent in prison and change your ways, but that will not be an excuse for you to walk free. I don't think it should be.
It shouldn't, actually. And this is not the conversation that will end here. Because we're in Nigeria, and we always say on this table, may Nigeria not happen to you. Unfortunately, these are the kinds of news that come out of sometimes you come to the show, you want to have a fantastic day, you want to be positive, then you hear stories like this that weigh on your spirit. It's not for us here on Jasri, on News Central. These are issues and concerns, societal concerns that we'll continue to track and keep an eye on. I mean, it's not pleasant to the ear. All of us here, when we have these conversations, it weighs heavy. Sometimes it stays with us throughout the day. But Lola, please, can we move this train forward?
The University of Lagos, Akoka, has officially placed a ban on skit-making, vox pops, and all forms of content creation within the campus and hostel without prior approval from the school's management. In a statement signed by the head of communications unit, Adejoke Alaga Ibrahim, the university said it had become increasingly concerned about individuals, both students and visitors, using university premises for filming and content production without authorization. According to the statement, the attention of the management was drawn to the growing use of university facilities, including hostels and lecture areas for filming skits, vox pop, and other cinematographic activities, which the school described as unauthorized and inappropriate. He explained that this new directive is aimed at preserving the institution's image, maintaining an atmosphere conducive to learning, and ensuring orderliness and safety on campus. The school has emphasized that the form of video recording, whether by students, staff, or outsiders, must now receive formal clearance from the communications unit before it can take place. The university stated that it supports creativity. It stressed that all productions must follow established procedures for safety and proper conduct. UNILAG also urged full compliance from both the campus community and the general public, saying the rule is in the interest of order, safety, and collective responsibilities. I'm sure there are some reactions to this. Let's take the reactions before we talk about it.
Way to go. Let educational institutions remain educational institutions. All of a sudden, every student is a content creator, and this is from Society Awareness. Fit Black Coffee says, wanting to take the source of income that we created for ourselves right from our mouths is wild. Nemeka says, institutions in Nigeria, whether government or academic, often fear what they cannot control. Youths with cameras and voices are unpredictable, and that unpredictability threatens rigid systems that thrive on silence and obedience. Emery here says, UNILAG is cracking down on content creation. No skits, vox pops, or videos on campus without prior approval. They say it is to protect the university's image, maintain order, and ensure safety, but students will definitely feel their creativity being stifled.
I feel this shouldn't be a headline in this generation. Same content that feeds a lot and help them further their education too. Once they discover that you're making money off them without getting anything from you, they will try to restrict you from doing it. Is the future we're hoping for that doesn't care about progress of the youth? Okay, now for me, I think, you know, some of these reactions, they're getting it wrong. The school says, or the institution doesn't say you cannot film.
Yes.
It doesn't say you cannot film.
Yeah.
It just says there are processes you must follow if you want to film.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it.
Because we've been sitting on this table clamoring for
Some kind of control.
Thank you. Some kind of control. Regulations.
Yeah.
A child will focus on skit making because, like someone said there, that's what puts food on the table or helps them pay fees. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you cannot focus more on skit making than what it is that you're in
you have
school
gone
for.
there to do. And I found out that if you notice, especially federal schools, where we're not like private universities, they're so easy egress and people just enter and come out at will. Sometimes you're in a university campus, you don't even know who is a student. People from outside just come, do whatever they want to do. It's not allowed, it's not proper. There are guidelines, there are ways. Even we that are filmmakers, there are places we need to film. You must get appropriate licenses, permissions. You can't just enter. And do you know that sometimes people are shooting skits? They are not even, thinking about people.
No.
So you will be in their skits without your consent.
Without your consent, yeah.
So,
and they are filming. And without your consent, whether you like it or not, you feature in their skits. And a lot of them are now leaving every other thing that they should be doing in school.
And focusing
about skit making on a daily basis. It can't be right. This is an academic institution. Yes. There has to be decorum.
Well, as long as it doesn't clash with their academics, then I'm definitely up for it. But what I want to say is, you know, the school can actually come out and give instructions and all that. Well, I don't think it will take, because these students, most of them, they're actually just in school for the quali. They're just there for the certificates.
That's the thing.
They're
Don't be
making
there.
money already.
It's okay.
Yeah,
So
they're
don't be
making
there in
money already.
school.
So
It's
I
not by
doubt
force
if
to.
they will stop, whatever skit making or vox pops, they're
But
doing.
at least with this one, this is a new directive. Nobody can say they didn't know.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. You set your ring light in the middle of the road. Have you seen some of them disturb you?
I have.
I've seen somebody that was shooting all these skits that they make that they just come pranks.
Yeah.
The woman fell in the gutter trying to run away. And I'm like, what's this prankster will say, I'm just joking. This is just for fun.
Yeah.
And somebody is majorly injured.
Yeah. What happens then?
There has to be some kind of regulation.
There has to be
And
that.
at least a university, they have a right to what happens within the walls of their school.
Yeah.
If you enter a university, at least UNILAG, I'm very conversant with. Even as a driver, you get a pass to be in the school. But these days, you see that a lot of people are
Just go
within
in
the
and
school,
go out.
entering their hostels. Even their own security can be compromised.
Yep, it can.
Because they don't know who is who.
Very true.
Everybody is setting ring light under every tree.
Yeah.
And you're wondering that, okay, what's really happening here?
Everybody's a content creator.
You said that's the thing. And if you know you don't want to be in school, you're not ready, you said they are there for the pali, it's fine. Be there for the pali, but give the attention to getting the pali the attention it requires. If you don't want to, if you know you cannot, put it on hold first. Make your money. You can decide to go back to school at any time that the spirit leads you to go back to. It's not rocket science.
I didn't know that we're...
You make it.
Yeah, what?
Sorry, Mickey, I wanted her to laugh.
something.
It just came to my head. I wanted her Catherine to laugh. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes I'm looking at the trend that we're creating. Now a lot of our youth do not even see education as a thing. But do you know that I keep saying that if you see an educated skit maker and you see someone who has not even seen the four walls of a university or a school, there's a slight difference. University education refines you.
Yep.
But now our youth have found out that, okay, they feel they don't need an education to make money. Of course, you might not need an education to make money, but there's a lot of things that education affords you that you will benefit from as a person. And I think because in Africa, we have put so much credence on education, academic qualification, that technical qualification is seen as a low-class education style.
Yeah.
But abroad, you can totally follow technical side. You can acquire a skill, and it will sustain you for the rest of your life. We mean education as in only go and study for that your pali.
Education has become it's become a flex now, and it's become segregatable. You that went to polytechnic and you that went to university are not equal. And it's, I think, for like I said,
or you went to private school and public university.
You didn't go to university while you didn't go to uni. So they make you feel bad for not going to university. We've said on this table, and Tolu has said, truly, not everybody is cut out for university education. Some people go and learn a technical skill. Go and learn a skill. Go and just do something different from university.
But
there's a mass movement
even in the
toward
university,
education.
they've been taught entrepreneurship at the moment. Because they
now,
know that,
at the moment, I agree, because I know my children, they collect some money for some entrepreneurship class. That is a special curated class where they teach them leadership, skills, and all these things. These days...
And you know, the funny thing is, you know, so many of our youths are in it for quick money, fast money, you know. That is the reason. I'm telling you,
I wish we could
back in the day, we were so patient. We waited, went to university, you know, made sure that we took every step.
We marinated.
I'm telling you,
but right now, the chicken on the table is bland because they are such in a rush to make money.
And I blame social media, honestly, because most of
diligence. Patience,
nothing,
discipline,
so much
totally
greed.
Going. Money cannot be the only thing you live for. There are other things you need to put.
You find the youth these days, you know, committing suicide because at their 21 they feel their life they're not where they should be. Where were you at 21? I just started working, and you know, the little amount that I was earning then was okay for me. I was like, oh, okay, at least I'm independent now.
There was structure when we were growing up. There was structure. Now there's nothing. If I was asked to plot a graph how these years would be, I would have got it all wrong. Because it's as if it went from 0 to 100. Now the youngsters, the youth are in a hurry. They are running. They're in fast-forward mode. Everybody's thinking about their life in monetary terms.
Do you know now?
Oh, I've not achieved this.
Yes.
Oh, I want to be in my space and earn money. Therefore, you see people, you call 419ers, Yahoo, because you want quick money.
Yeah.
And then everyone is now running into tech because they say tech is the new bloom. So you now run into tech, whether you have the penchant for tech or not. You just run into tech because that's where everybody's going.
Let's not even go to where the youths, decide to engage in ritualism. I saw a video the other day. The lady operates a prayer house apparently, and then she promised herself that any young man that comes to the house and asks for ritual, she will embarrass the boy, the person. And she did. One came and said, okay, you brought the money, what do you want? You want me to pray for you? No, wahala, come, let me pray. He said, no, he wants to do ritual. And she embarrassed him. She recorded him, posted him on social media, saying, I do not do rituals here. Leave, go and walk and everything. And, it's...
Young people are not
funny enough, they don't see it as anything anymore. And even the young girls, if you're not a fraudster, they do not want you.
We have a potential crisis in our hands that we do not even know the end of it yet. Every time I look around me, I keep thinking of like an epidemic, but it's not a disease, but it's a disease of the mind, where you might have everything, but the emptiness of your mind is still there. The amount, our experience, those are the things that fill the building block in your brain to make you a wholesome individual. But when the only value you attach to life is money, the emptiness of life will still chase you.
Yes.
And we think that we have seen mental breakdown. Oh, I think we are just scratching the surface of mental issues, because a lot of young people will get into these zones of, okay, the money is here. What do I do with it?
Well, we're arriving there already now. I mean, young people are building houses, are acquiring property.
At 19.
Families are celebrating them. Families, parents, yes, you heard me, parents, extended family, they're being celebrated.
Encouraging
and
them.
For them, it fuels them. It's encouragement. They'll say, oh, I give my parents money, and the way they lie down, the way they...
Children are parenting their parents.
Exactly, children are parents. And then the parents are saying, oh, my son is making money. You don't care to know how your child is making money.
Do you know that if my child has a pension, for Skit-Making, or that they get into quick money from maybe content creation. For me, you need to guide them on even investing and delaying gratification.
Yeah.
You can't say, because I say, yes, you can afford it.
And it can be difficult.
But I say, no, these monies you're making, this is an investment plan that you can put it while you focus on school.
You see, you see what Lola is saying? I hear her.
The gratification.
No, the environment, the pulse of what's going on now. The environment doesn't even, it counters you. You're trying to teach your child delayed gratification. The environment is whispering something else. They hear you, but the environment is pushing them that you need it now. Because there's friends,
peer pressure.
Listen, it's a conversation
it's like they don't even have free will anymore. Whatever our friends are doing, whatever we see on social media, we must do it. It's crazy.
Why do you think Airbnbs are full? We'll have this, I'm sure we'll come to this conversation in December, when the whole country, within and outside, is looking to Oble this December. But for now, let's move on to Niger State, where a story raising eyebrows is unfolding. Now, a postgraduate student of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, Lapai Abubakar Issa Mokwa, has been arrested by police for allegedly criticizing Governor Mohammed Umaru Bago on Facebook. So according to reports, Mokwa, who studies agricultural economy and extension, was picked up from his off-campus lodge around 11 p.m. on Thursday, the 23rd of October. The Niger State Police Command spokesperson, Wasiu Abiodun, confirmed his arrest, saying it followed a criminal complaint bordering on cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and other cybercrime-related offenses. Abiodun said the student was, in quotes, invited and arrested, end of quote, by the Lapai Division before being transferred to the State Police Command headquarters in Mina for further investigation, adding that the suspect is still in custody and that further developments will be made public. But the real question now is, what sparked the arrest?
Well, Abubakar had, allegedly made Facebook posts criticizing Governor Bago's leadership and performance. Comments authorities now say cross into cybercrime territory. But this is not an isolated case, because in August, the Niger State government suspended Badegi 90.1 FM, an independent radio station in Mina, over alleged criticism of the governor. And earlier in January, Yakubu Mustafa, the Niger State correspondent for People's Daily and chairman of the National Union of Journalists Correspondents Chapel, was detained for 3 days after allegedly circulating an article critical of the governor's media advisor. Now, the International Press Institute, Nigeria, has condemned this latest arrest, describing it as part of a growing pattern of repression against free expression under Governor Bago's government. Meanwhile, the Center for Information Technology and Development, CITAD, had demanded Abubakar's immediate release, calling his arrest a dangerous attempt to silence citizens exercising their constitutional rights. So freedom of speech is a constitutional right and not a privilege. And while accountability matters, the line between enforcing the law and silencing dissent should not be this blurry. But, let's take some reactions first.
Nigeria.
This thing doesn't make sense. Governors and even up to presidency level over the years have these matters happening. We need to stop these as a nation. Amazing, Yamo. What does it say about governance when criticism of public official is treated as a criminal offense rather than an opportunity for accountability? Now, for this kind of government to want protest, what's the difference between this type of governance and military rule? You cannot even voice out your concerns and pains anymore. You cannot protest, you cannot rant. Just keep watching while the country is destroyed.
I have never seen one instance where this Cybercrime Act was used without the intent to violate a citizen's right. Not once. And this is from Muad Dip. Bello Saleh says, since when is criticizing an elected public officer a crime in Nigeria? Doesn't Niger State have better use of police time? All right, that's all on the reactions. They've actually said it all.
Honestly, that is Nigeria, we hail thee. And the last tweet is what I want to go into. Is this what is your problem at this point in time? Really? Is this what is your problem? That people cannot... Do you know how many people go on social media to rant? For them, it's an avenue. It's a chance for them to vent, to speak out what is troubling them. Otherwise, you want Nigerians to implode. That cannot happen. There has to be a gateway for these things to express yourself. And since when did expressing yourself become a crime? That he has been arrested?
A student?
And he's in police custody. The next thing we'll hear is that, okay, something happened to him and he died.
Yes.
And then that's all.
Yeah, well, we've seen a similar case like that in Kaduna. Up till now, we actually have no idea where Dadiata is, a journalist. And it's been years, I think, if not 5 years now. He just went missing. So, similar cases like this as well.
It's just, listen, Nigerians just want accountability. This is in Niger State. Okay, so let me not just generalize Nigeria. Let's focus on Niger State. This is in Niger State. He's saying that these are the things that have happened. Bandits, the flood victims,
which is no
scholarships.
Lie.
There's everything that's going wrong. Graduate assistants. Listen, ghost farms. Listen, these are the issues. Can you just come out to say something? Say no, just go and pick.
Exactly. No,
pick him
come
up.
out and
pick
say
him
something
up. What?
And defend
Truly,
yourself.
are we under a military regime? What is the matter with us? Isn't this an abuse of power? If this isn't abuse of power, I don't know what this is.
Funny enough, when he even came into power, people loved him. I was one of the people who actually felt like, he was promising. He was going to have a promising government. But seeing what he's been doing in the past few years, I really don't know what I think anymore.
I'm just
honestly.
wondering, when did we get into these murky waters? Well,
Mom,
we can't even say. Because we have seen as high, we have seen...
But
what can we say? Because we have had this thing even happen up to the presidency, where a boy that was criticizing the first lady at one time was actually apprehended and taken to police custody at some point.
Hold on.
And
is it not this guy that said anybody will wear dada?
Is it?
Wow.
Yes, that said that you be considered a Yahoo boy, or they will profile you in that way.
Rep ipsa liquito.
This country, whatever happens from up, it just keeps flowing down. If one bad behavior starts on top, it just keeps flowing down. Then that means that anybody that says something that is against what you want, you can be carried. That means somebody can just wake up and just come and carry you because you criticize the government. Why can't you do that?
But how
you have every right to speak. It's your fundamental right. But now they are making sure that even after you speak, then you never know what can happen to you.
If only the government can, sit down and listen to what the people actually have to say. We've talked about people not having access to, their leaders.
We've talked about,
the people not getting what they want. What you're supposed to do as a governor is listen. What is this guy saying? Is he right?
Yeah.
If he's right, let me come out, give a statement, even if I don't debunk it, let me just, promise them and give them hope.
Yeah, because they're acting like tyrants.
Exactly.
They are acting like dictators.
Exactly.
Like, these are elected officials. Any government under this regime, there was an election. The people elected you
there.
You didn't force your way into governance. So you should listen to your people. This one is like using a sledgehammer to kill an ant.
Yeah, well, you said that there's been elections, I understand that.
They are democratically elected.
But at the same time, don't you see,
they are serving the people.
It's not election. If this was election year, or the year preceding
when 2027 comes,
I
now mellow and starts promising
that the United States governor would have been mellow in his in his addressing what is going on in his state, or what the young man was saying, voicing out his concerns. Well, it's that time of day. This has been our showing on Jasiri for today. Thank you so much for listening to our rants. Thank you for being a part of the show for today. Tomorrow, we'll be here bright and early, same time, 10 a.m. Bye.